Call to the Danville City Commission regular meeting. Today's date is Monday, May the 12th, 2025, and it's 4:30 p.m. So I want to welcome you all to our meeting today, and we do have a planned agenda, but there are also several opportunities for citizens to speak to us today. If you're desiring to speak to us this afternoon during the second hearing of the public, which is about things that are not on our agenda, please go outside in the lobby and sign the sheet that you were desiring to speak to us during the second hearing of the public. The first hearing of the public is folks can come up and speak to us about things that are on our agenda. Okay? So with that said, I'd like to ask you to bow your heads as we have a word of prayer led by Commissioner Siri, and then we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Certainly, we have a lot of conflicts going on in our world that we feel bad for those families and those folks. But here domestically, we still deal with abuses of alcohol, drug, and what I want to say, I guess, children and spouses, etc. So I think we'll take a few moments just to reflect on that, and then we'll come back together.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Next item on our agenda is to have a motion to approve the agenda as presented to us over the weekend. The chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. She says as presented, so all those in favor of approving our agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, likewise, motion carries. So the next item on our agenda is the first hearing of public. And this is the section where the public may be recognized, come to the podium, speak to us for 3 minutes or less. The only stipulation is that it has to be about items that are on our agenda for tonight. Is there anyone desiring to speak to us? Are you shooting yourself or what? Oh, you pointing to someone, oh. Yes, ma'am. Oh, not you again, nope.
That's just the answer I was hoping for. That's the greeting I could always desire.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, commissioners. Glad to see you, and Mayor, of course, glad to see you as well. I want to speak a little bit about the Brass Band Festival coming up. I know we have an item on the agenda to get the banner approved, but I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about the weekend and see if I can do it in 3 minutes or less. So we've got 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This is May 29, May 30, and May 31st. We'll have Downtown Downbeat on Thursday with one of our local groups. Friday night will be Bayou and Brass again. This will be at Center College once again instead of on the public streets as like it was a couple of years ago. And then we'll also have another main stage day on Saturday, also at Center College. So we'll have 3 days of music, one small night on Thursday, local night, and then the 2 larger events. So for this year, some of the major changes that I need to make sure that everybody knows of, music starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday. We made that change last year, but the announcement didn't quite get out to everybody, so I want everyone to know that music starts early at 9 a.m., and if you order or rented a picnic table, your table will be ready just before the first band goes on at 9 a.m. So you'll have the, instead of the evening picnic hours, you'll have the table for the entirety of the day Saturday. You ordered it, so why would we hold it from you, right? So that's a major change. So if you're looking to enjoy the music with food, with friends, and have a place to do it, the table's the way to go. Those can be ordered on the website online. We also have a master class on Friday with the Airmen of Note, which is the U.S. Air Force's big band, very well-noted group. We're so excited they're going to be here and then to be delivering 2 master classes Friday, one for saxophones and rhythm section, the other for brass instruments. You can come to both. They're both free. It's a Q&A type thing. You can pre-register and submit questions online on our website, or you can just ask it right there in front of the folks themselves. For this year, we've got plenty of opportunities to volunteer, and that's another thing that I want to speak about today, is that we need more and more volunteers. We're about half full of volunteers, which is actually pretty good considering we still have about 20 days or so until we're ready, and I'd like to ask that the folks of Danville look at our volunteer opportunities that are on our website. This is easy stuff. You need no more than 2 or 3 hours. This is selling drinks. This is selling merchandise. This is parking attendants. This is monitoring our picnic tables, hospitality room folks. They're all easy jobs. They don't require any sort of pre-training. You just show up and we get you the information you need. It's very, very simple, and everybody has lots of fun doing it. You'll see me out there clowning around, so what better reason to give a few hours of your time? So we want to thank everybody that's already signed up, and of course there's amazing, amazing events to see and be a part of, but if you want to go further and contribute your time, we would absolutely love to have anybody that's willing to do so. So thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You didn't identify yourself, though.
My name is Michael Peros.
I thought it was Miss. Okay.
It's an understandable misconception, but no, Michael,
ma'am.
it is.
You're always going to be Michelle to the mayor, though, right? Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Now that way he nudged her to get her up there, too. That's pretty neat. All right, let's move along then. Next item is CVB, Convention and Visitors Bureau update. Mr. Clinton, thank you, sir, for your presence.
Good afternoon. When I asked to be on the agenda, I was anticipating having the 2024 tourism economic impact numbers for Boyle County from the state, but they never really let us know when they're going to release those. I know they've got them. They just haven't released them to us yet. So when I get them, we'll put out a press release and I'll send them out. But we're anticipating, based on the past 3 years of growth, that we'll continue to see that increase in 2024, and we'll keep working toward that in 2025. We're wrapping up our ad and marketing plan for FY25 right now. We had a good mix of print ads, digital, social media, streaming, billboards, just a little bit of everything that we could afford. We spent around $150,000 this year on different advertising and marketing efforts, and that's pretty much what we're going to do into the next fiscal year. We're going to change it up a little bit on how we do that. Working with my agency right now on what we're going to do, but it's going to be still that kind of same combination of advertising and marketing, generally in the Ohio, Illinois, Indiana area. That's kind of where most of our drive market is. So planning that now. We're going to do that in conjunction with our FY25 or FY26 budget, which we'll have our first reading of a week from today. So, along with our ad and marketing efforts, we're continuing to work to capitalize on our potential for filming. Since I think I mentioned this at our last meeting back in December that I was at. Since then, we've worked with 40 different locations in Danville and Boyle County to get permission to add them to the FilmLex website. So we have 40 different potential filming sites here, with several more that we're still going to add. We created a page on our own website, danvillekentucky.com, where we have all that information as well, and Melanie's link to it from the city's landing page. In addition to that, we had the executive director from FilmLex came down in April for a site tour. I took her to several locations around downtown, took her out to the Perryville Battlefield, out to Merchants Row, so she'd have a good look at what we have. So when people call looking for specific types of filming locations, she will have seen these, and she's very interested in a lot of what we have here. She sees a lot of potential in the film industry. So we're going to keep on working on that. I have gotten some phone calls from different potential filming projects that did see us on the listings we have on FilmLex, so people are seeing us. It's just a matter of getting the right film and right combination of what we have to offer. Along with working with the film industry, I'm working with the Development Corporation on new wayfinding signs for Junction City. These will closely mirror what we have here in Danville and the signs that the CDB had put up in Perryville last year. The encroachment permit got filed with the state, got sent back with some suggested changes. So they're working on that right now. Hopefully we'll get that approved and then can move that process forward and maybe have some signs down in Junction later this year. I was also going to mention events coming up. Michael's already taken care of brass band for me. So third Thursday is this week, and there's quite a bit on the schedule for this week. We got a classic car show that's going to be part of that. The library's doing something called Tipsy Town Tours, and there's other activities going on as well. And being that this is an outdoor event, we don't need any rain this Thursday, so hopefully that'll hold off this week. Farmers Market, that's been going on for a couple weeks. I've been there each time, had good crowds each week. And Ponderosa Speedway, which is under new ownership as of last year, they've pretty much got something going on down there every weekend. And sometimes it's motorsports, and they've even got wrestling going on one weekend. So they're doing a lot down there this year. And last thing I want to mention is we got 2 businesses in Boyle County that are finalists for Best in Kentucky. Burke's Bakery is back on the top 3 list this year, and Sweets by Cindy. So they need votes to become the winner, and if they win, that'll be a good marketing tool for us. People are always asking about Burke's when they come to town, and food is a big part of travel. So if we have a couple places locally that are statewide winners, that'll help us when we market Danville and Boyle County. So you can vote once a day.
Thank you, sir. Any questions or comments?
I saw one of the signs, I think. You have one coming from Tennessee back to Kentucky?
Billboards?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some billboards. They're past due. They just haven't been replaced yet, but we did have a
But I
bill.
saw it.
Yeah, we had a
Saw
couple
it.
on I-75, 2 on I-65. So glad to know they're still up because we're not paying
They're
for them.
there. Well, they're there.
Yeah.
Other questions or comments?
Did you say the Corvette show happened last Saturday or coming up?
It was Saturday.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is approval of the minutes of the previous meetings.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a date? When's that? Just when's that?
Minutes of 4/28, 5/1, 5/2, and 5/8/25.
All right.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Got to get those dates in the record, okay? Any questions, any additions or deletions to the minutes? City Commission's been busy. That's good. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you all. Next item is that banner request from the Great American Brass Band Festival, right? You got it done in less than 3 minutes. It seemed like a lot longer than that, but that's all right. Is there a motion to approve the banner as presented?
What is the brass? I would move that we approve the banner request.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? No comments? I just want to reiterate the dates, that 29th, 30th, 31st of May. That's a little early this year, but we should get those dates out there. All right, so all those in favor of approving this banner as requested, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Thank you all. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
I was talking to that guy next to you. I'm sorry. I met her when she was in kindergarten, and they introduced her to me as Michael. I said, she can't be a Michael, she got to be a Michelle. So
Too bad.
she's 21 now, I still call her Michael. So, all right, let's
I
go.
wish I were 21.
Next item is a Planning and Zoning Commission reappointment. Commissioners, what's your pleasure on this? This young lady is willing to volunteer a second term. Really important to me to keep some continuity going with this group because they are in the process of hiring a new planning and zoning director. So What's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve the Planning and Zoning Commission reappointment of Sally Davenport, who serves as a co-chair, and her term would expire 5/31 of 2029.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a
Se-
second?
Second.
All right, and I think she might be the acting chair of the church presently, but anyway, we're gonna get her reappointed, so all those in favor to Ms. Davenport's reappointment, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Thank you, motion carries. Next item is a proclamation in honor of Police Week.
I'm going to read that? Okay.
One of you,
All right, whereas this is a proclamation from National Police Officer Week, May 11th through the 17th, 2025. Whereas the Congress and President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. And whereas the members of the law enforcement agency of the city of Danville play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the city of Danville and its citizens. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of the law enforcement agency, and that members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding lives and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. And whereas the men and women of the law enforcement agency of the city of Danville unceasingly provide a vital public service, now therefore be it resolved that Mayor J.H. Atkins and the city commissioners of the city of Danville do hereby upon all patriotic, civic, and education organizations to observe the week of May 11th through 17th, 2025 as National Police Officer Week, with appropriate ceremonies and observances in which all of our people may join in commemorating law enforcement officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and in doing so have established themselves an enviable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. Furthermore, Mayor J.H. Atkins and the Board of Commissioners of the City of Danville call upon all citizens of Danville to observe May 15th as Peace Officer Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community, or have become disabled in the performance of duty. And let us recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes in a ceremony at Bellevue Cemetery, May 15th.
Thank you, ma'am. What's your pleasure with this proclamation?
I move to accept the proclamation for Police Week.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries. Chief Graves, you come up and receive this proclamation and take a picture with us?
And what time is the ceremony on the 15th?
He wasn't expecting that.
3 o'clock at Bellevue, right? We're all going to.
You gotta show no support for the chief here. I was gonna give him the key to the.
I just don't want to stand next to him.
He always likes to sit right there in the corner. Everybody.
He's got my hot out seat.
I can't get over you.
There you go.
He said, "What we doing?"
You in this lady.
They all like the cameras, just right? We gotta stay down, y'all do the next one, right?
Oh, we should have stayed down there.
Just
Just
stay
read it
down
from
there.
down there.
These ladies in the picture too.
Right. Huh? Yes, I believe.
These two ladies are here for that, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
So maybe
just stay here.
Set right there, yeah. All right. Next on the agenda is a proclamation in honor of National Treatment Court Month. Commissioner Cotto's going to read this proclamation for us.
Thank you, Mayor. Proclamation for National Treatment Court Month, May of 2025. Whereas, according to All Rise, treatment courts are the most successful justice system intervention in our nation's history for reducing crime by addressing substance use and mental health disorders. And whereas treatment courts save an average of more than $6,000 for every individual they serve, and whereas treatment courts provide a range of economic benefits to a community, such as reduced costs in courts and prison expenditures, increased tax revenues, lowered foster care expenses, and decreased costs related to victimization. And whereas treatment courts combine accountability with evidence-based treatment, and whereas treatment courts annually refer more than 150,000 people to life-saving treatment and recovery support services. Whereas, according to All Rise, treatment courts significantly improve substance use and mental health disorder treatment outcomes and prevent fatal overdoses. Whereas treatment courts facilitate community-wide partnerships bringing together public safety and public health, and whereas there are now more than 4,000 treatment courts nationwide, and whereas treatment courts demonstrate that when one person rises, we all rise. Therefore, be it resolved that Mayor James J.H. Atkins and the Board of Commissioners of the City of Danville declares on this day, the 12th day of May 2025, as to be Treatment Court Month, to be established in the month of May.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, what's your pleasure with this proclamation?
I move to accept the proclamation
Thank you,
for
sir.
National Treatment Care
Thank you, sir.
Month.
Is there a
Second.
second?
Court Month.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
These two ladies, you want to say something about All Rise before we come down? This is the first time we've done one for you all.
Yes, it is. So the Boyle and Mercer Drug Court program was created in 2020 under the care of late Judge Dotson. We have continued to grow our program in Boyle and Mercer. At this point, we have 24 active participants in our program and are continually growing it. We've done lots of service projects in and around Danville, and we'll continue to do anything that the community would like us to help with.
Wow. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Go ahead. It's really interesting to ask.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
What's that?
You can do that at our graduation.
No, she might hit back then. She grown up.
She might. That one's a little sassy.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ladies. She thought I know who she was, didn't she? Thank you all for that. Next on our agenda is the second reading of ordinance number 2046 about 784 South 4th Street, a zone change. Madam Clerk, would you read Madam Finance
think-
Department.
Madam Clerk is not here at the moment, but this is the second reading of
You wanna
ordinance
take it?
2046, an ordinance changing the zone from two-family residential to highway business for approximately 0.155 acres, more or less, of real property located at 784 South 4th Street in the city of Danville, Kentucky.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the second reading of ordinance 2046.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am.
I believe you will need a roll call vote for this.
Yes, ma'am. Any questions or comments first, though? Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, then we'll have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Cottle,
Yes.
Commissioner Peak,
Yes.
Commissioner Atkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Saras.
Yes.
Thank you all. Next item is second reading of ordinance 2047, 714 Houstonville Road, a zone change.
This is the second reading of ordinance 2047, an ordinance changing the zone from two-family residential to highway business for well, just kidding. Is this the same one?
Same one. Yeah.
It's the same one. Oh, 0.155 acres, more or less, of real property located at 714 Houstonville Road in the city of Danville, Kentucky.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance 2047.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion for the second reading.
Thank you, sir. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, then we'll have a roll call vote again.
Commissioner Peak,
Yes.
Mayor Atkins,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Saras,
Yes.
Commissioner Cottle.
Yes.
See, we have to give Ashley a good report on you. Thank you all. Next item is the city manager report. City Manager Kofi.
Thank you, Mayor Commissioners. We'd like to start out with some dates. May 17th and 18th is the Danville Airport Young Eagles and Kentucky Heroes 5K. So there's 2 days of activities beginning at 10 a.m. to 2 each day. May 20th is Coffee with, I think, the Commissioner Series. I'm not sure exactly who's next, but we would like to make sure that's on your calendar. May 21st, we're revising the budget meeting date from May 22nd to the 21st because of a scheduling conflict. And also this week, there's no budget meeting. We would like to make sure that's remembered. May 26th, City Hall is closed for Memorial Day, and the next meeting's the 27th. 28th is the airport ribbon cutting for the new roadway and the project on the north side of the airport campus. And then, of course, the 29th is a brass band kickoff. Some disruptions inside of town. The 22nd, 23rd, and 31st are the graduation dates for the area schools, the area high schools. So please be aware of that as you get to graduation season. There's going to be a lot of people coming into town, not from town, and so that usually ends up with some calls and some lost cars, sometimes on the one-way roads going the wrong way. So please be aware within the community that you're going to have a lot of visitors to town and a lot of activity. Also, May the 25th is Center's graduation, so we'd like to also remind folks of that. In terms of activities, the auditor will be on site the week of, the last week of May, the first week of June. As of right now, they're still unscheduled to provide the audit in August as they anticipated earlier in the year. Would like to point out that the Civic Engagement and Local Government Series, the next one is the May the 22nd. It is with Parks, Public Works, and city engineering type infrastructure. We have a submission that we are asking for your approval. There's a resolution. We have an insurance claim on the bollards that were struck by one of the trucks. The particular trucking company has a claim that is going to be paid $3,953.68. It's Anderson Trucking Services. They are asking that the mayor execute the property damage release claims from future claims on that particular incident. And so staff is asking that you authorize the mayor through passing this attached resolution 2025-05-1203 so that the mayor can execute that, so that we can submit and receive our claim reimbursement against that claim. It is a late-minute addition to the agenda, so rather than flood Miss Record with a new agenda item late in the game, we are asking that you do it here. Hopefully, the next time, this would make it to the agenda. And certainly, we'll work to do that. So staff is presenting that for you now, if you have an opinion on that.
I would move for approval of Resolution 2025-05-1203.
Second.
Thank you all. Any questions or comments to the city manager on this one? How many did they take out? Just one? Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, motion carries.
We have also included in your packet the monthly financial report for April. We would note that we've covered a lot of the numbers in the budget process, so we won't necessarily spend a lot of time on that unless you all want it. The next thing is, we've been working quite a bit on the downtown master plan, and Melanie and I, Josh, went to Indiana last week. We went to a day trip to Columbus, I get them flipped. Columbus, Indiana, and then drove on up to Carmel, Indiana and met with some of their city engineering folks there, and then drove back on Monday. That was very beneficial. A lot of the things they're dealing with transportation-wise, and also the process by which both those communities did some TIF districts and some things like that, were very applicable for us, which is why we did go visit them and talk to them. Their transportation, they took roads like their bypass and reimagined them. It was really interesting to see that. Josh isn't here tonight. He's a little bit under the weather, so we won't go too deeply into those subjects, but we are trying to figure out a way that we can revisit them, and probably take a couple of commissioners with us to meet them and to see their presentations of both those areas, and then bring that back here and recommunicate that locally. They've done a good job with using the TIF districts and using transportation dollars to continue to improve things in their community, and which is what our objective is. And so we'll cover that, and certainly entertain any questions y'all have in that subject. If you have any, you're welcome to follow up if you want to meet or something like that. The economic development infrastructure, we've talked about that. Probably what I would do is provide a presentation with both of those subjects combined into one at a budget meeting. We were wanting to do that last week. We couldn't do it because of the schedule, because of actually doing the trip, but we will hold that and try to present that to you at a budget meeting, what we're talking about describing with those two things. And for today, I'll leave it at that. Do y'all have any questions or comments or want to talk about anything?
Any questions or comments for the city commissioner, city manager? Got me all buffaloed.
May 20th is coffee with Commissioner Saris. Be at Dry Stack, 8 a.m. Right, Melanie? Got me down? Yep. And I will not be able to attend the next budget meeting on the 26th. And that's wrong, 21st.
Okay.
Anything new with the school agreement, Earl?
No, I'm meeting with some folks in that line this week, and towards the end of the week with some of our, the early childhood folks, and we're trying to talk about those things now.
Any other questions or comments? If not, let's move into our second, hear the public. This is an opportunity for the public to be recognized and talk to the city commission about things that are not on our agenda. Raise your hand, get recognized, come to the podium, identify yourself, and we'll give you 3 minutes or less to share your concerns with us. Is there anyone? All right, thank you. Commissioners, commissioner comments, updates?
I just want to say we had our first commissioner, coffee with commissioner. Thank you, Melanie, for getting the word out. And there were several people there. It was at the hub out on the bypass, and it was well attended, and they had several questions. So I want to thank the citizens for coming out and their input. And Commissioner Magistrate Gay was out there from the county, so that was good. I think that was a positive that they got to see the city and the county. And Magistrate Sleeper actually showed up. Mayor came in and left, but it was a good, he was busy, I'm just saying. He was making sure I showed up. But anyway, it was a good event, so I would
That was
encourage
cute.
people to go out and talk to us, you know.
And tell them why I showed up.
He was supporting me, that's what he was
Well,
doing.
making
And-
sure she didn't forget about the meeting,
Ma-
that's all.
Anyway,
It was cute. Other commissioner comments?
Myself, Donna, Melanie, and who else was with us?
oh, yeah, we did do that.
That's right. And JJ was there as well, but it was an economic development accelerator, they call them, and it's very interesting sort of take part in the process, you know, in a short period of time, just to see sort of what happens in recruiting and in presenting yourself for recruitment.
Yeah, that was a good.
Other comments? Well, there's been some, I guess you say, social media concerns voiced about our cemeteries, about items being removed, displaced, relocated, whatever. I apologize to the young lady who contacted me today and told her I would bring it to City Hall, and I've done just that. We have some new policies and procedures that are being implemented, but we, as a commission, have not finalized those, and we really have not had a chance to debate them up or down. But part of our discussion was to slow down the process of trying to implement them until we had a chance to identify and inform our citizens that information was, the things were being updated and possibly changed. So I wanted the rest of the commissioners to know that I did have a good conversation today with one of our citizens, and I'm sure that with the appropriate staff at City Hall. Okay? Any other commissioner comments?
Well, and to do a deeper dive on that too, I think some of the activities were consistent with what we've always done. So far as I know, we've really not gotten into doing anything related to the new activity. We're going in what we considered the public hearing process for that. Every winter, as we come out of winter, as we get ready for mowing, they do a review of things in the cemetery that have aged, and they go through that and remove it prior to the mowing season. And so I think that's what happened in this case, but it certainly can be shocking, and so we do want to continue to talk about doing that as better and as effectively as we can, so that we prevent confusion, and sometimes those things do warrant more attention than we give, and other things, and I know that's hard to explain, but, you know, we have to somehow figure out a way to be able to discern when we need to make a phone call to the family sometimes and tell them, hey, this stuff's coming out. Sometimes the things aren't really associated with a particular burial site or anything. There can be stuff blown around, and so it's a complicated thing, and staff was making an effort to process it like we would normally do in the spring. And so we apologize if there was anything that was misunderstood about that. So
But the guidelines have not changed.
They have
Just
not
make that-
changed.
yeah,
We're not
we have
doing
changed
anything yet. We've
Right.
presented them. They're out there for the public at large.
Right.
But we're not doing anything tied to the new guidelines yet.
And I think they head on to July the 1st.
I believe that's
Feedback
correct.
and input to their concerns about the proposed changes. Or I said give a request to say, can I talk to someone individually about my family's plot?
Right.
That opportunity still exists for citizens as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And can I say one more? I had had some people ask for paper copies. I know that a lot of people do things online, but some people just want to mark them up. So I've gotten those to them, and I would hope maybe we could put a few out here and encourage people to come get them if they need to, or
Yeah.
just come and get them. Ask Jenny or something, but
That's a good idea.
maybe
We
to
can-
make it easy for them.
Yeah, we can put a stack out here and
Okay.
literally call them the proposed guidelines and leave them out here free.
Well, the lady was really nice, and she was concerned, but she also understood it was important to share factual information with people who were contacting her. And I thanked her for reaching out to me, and the fact it gave city staff a chance to respond to her, so it was a good dialogue. There'll be others though, but that's okay, that's why we're here, okay? Any other commissioner comments? If not, the next item on the agenda is that important one, is we pay our bills for this month. So the Chair would entertain a motion to pay the bill list as presented.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the bills in the amount of $1,668,891.57 as presented.
Second.
Thank you both of you, all right? Any questions or comments? Any additions, deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying our bills as presented, say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. Resolution 2025-05-1201, Spears Creek Change Order Number 5. Mr. Carrier.
Thank you, Mayor. This agenda item is in relation to change order number 5 of the Spears Creek Sewer Pump Station project that's wrapping up. To address a few items, elimination of some chain link fence, addition of flowable fill under the slab, and credit for unused electrical allowances. No days obviously are going to be added to the contract. This is a negative change order, so a credit back to the city of $15,701.
Thank you, sir. We all like those kind of change orders, right? Is there a motion?
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-05-1201.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you all. Any questions?
I was going to ask Marshall, just for my own education, what is flowable fill?
So when you think of pouring a concrete sidewalk, for example, it's pretty thick. You have to trowel it down and move it around. Flowable fill is essentially just it has more water content so that it can be poured into certain areas and fill voids. So what we did on this project was you've got two reservoirs essentially, and you got a concrete slab over top. So when we did the work on rehabbing the wet wells or the reservoirs, we noticed that underneath that slab, there was a void area that had formed for whatever reason over many years. So while we had the contractor out there, we thought it was in the best interest of the city and the project to go ahead and drill 2 pilot holes in the top of that slab and fill it up. And you're essentially boxing it in for the future so it doesn't settle anymore. That's the time to do it, while you're out there.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, excuse me, hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed likewise, motion carries. Thank you all. Next item is Resolution 2025-05-1202, Old Stanford Road deed. Somebody's pitching in for Josh this afternoon?
Yes, I'll try that. The access road, the county was working on the old Stanford Road. There's several properties that are on the same side of what is that? I guess Balls Branch, technically. That is on the same side of the Balls Branch as the city's property. The city had right-of-way that was a easement and that other folks were using. For example, there's a church on that side. So this dedicates that portion of the access lane that is owned by the city on that side of the road into the county's so they can finish the upgrade of that road.
Very good.
Okay?
Yeah, it's been a sort of a orphan street. Is it ours, is it theirs for a long time, so it's good to get it done.
Any other questions or comments?
I'll move to approve resolution number 2025-05-1202.
Thank you, sir. Is there a
Second.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed, likewise. Motion carries. Trinity's entertain a motion to go into executive session?
Yes, we do need one for the purpose of the litigation and personnel.
I thought tonight was gonna be the chance for you to say no. Okay,
I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matter pursuant to KRS 618101F. And I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss city versus Doe litigation pursuant to KRS 618101C.
Commissioner, if we can just revise that slightly for potential litigation.
oh, okay,
Thank you.
okay, thank you, sir. Was there a second?
Second.
Oh,
Actually, correction, that is pending litigation, not proposed, it's pending litigation. 618101C for the purpose of discussion related to pending litigation for which discussion publicly would compromise or have a tendency to compromise litigation posture. Thank you.
thank you, sir. Someone second that?
I will
You
second
did?
that.
Oh, okay. All those in
Okay.
favor of going into executive session, say aye.
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 Chair, we come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We'll lost our city manager?
It's okay, you can
We have
proceed.
hires
Okay.
to do.
Don't need him.
Don't need him. All
Hires
right, let's
and-
go.
He has that paper.
We have a.
We can do this and then.
He's on his way. Why don't you proceed with yours, ma'am?
Okay. I would move that we accept the report of DPJ Consulting LLC titled "A Review of the Arrest of and Use of Force Against Mr. John Hardwick by Officers of the Danville Police Department."
Second.
Probably moved in second that we accept the report. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. Mr. City Commissioner? I mean, phew, City Manager, I want to call you City Commissioner for tonight.
Thank you. Staff is recommending the hiring of Joseph Lyons to the position of Parks and Rec Maintenance Worker.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Yes, sir.
Staff is recommending you accept the resignation of Bobby Hardman from the position of police officer effective 4/25/25.
Thank you,
So
sir.
moved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
Hey, thank you, sir. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the resignation, say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. We'll help you out, Ms. Jenny. Next one?
Staff is recommending the hiring of William Warlick to the position of police officer.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
Go ahead.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. Yes, sir.
That's it.
That's it?
I move for adjournment.
Second.
Thank you both. All those in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.